All right. I said I'd get it done today, even though it's going to be late. I don't care. That's what I've decided. I'm going to keep my word. All right. Ready for the January TBR. So, first book I'm reading in January, I've already started it, is Fugitive Prince. So, yeah, I know that how it seemed in December TBR is a lot. It's pretty different from how it actually ended up being. I ended up not using my spare time to read Wall of Storms, but as you can see, we'll get to that. First book I'm reading in January is Fugitive Prince, because everybody else is going to be reading Janny Wirtz. I had to read some Janny Wirtz, you know. I'm going to be reading, so just as a kind of heads up for how the future of my reading is going to look, is first book I'm going to read is going to be, I'm all over the place. So this month I'm going to read a Janny Wirtz book. Next month I think I'm going to start Malazan. Not quite sure if that's going to be true, so depending on whether my Broken Binding editions of Malazan come in this month or next month, I will be starting Malazan next month. So if I don't get Malazan next month, or at least first half of next month, then I'll be reading book 5 of Wars of Light and Shadow. And then March I'll read Malazan. And then every other month I'll switch. So if everything goes according to plan, I'll have Fugitive Prince this month. Then next month will be Malazan book 1, Gardens of the Moon. Then March, is that the third month of the year? Yes, it's the third month of the year. The third month of the year will then be Grand Conspiracy, book 5 of Wars of Light and Shadow. April will be Dead House Gates. May will be book 6, so that's Peril's Gate. And then September. Yeah, May, September, right next to each other. June will be Memories of Ice. And then after that second half of the year, I'm not quite so sure what's going to happen, just because Malazan, I kind of want to read the whole thing in the special edition format from the Broken Binding, but I may not. It all depends on when the Broken Binding is planning to ship out. If I just love everything up to Memories of Ice so much that I just don't think I could keep it in for another 4 or 5 months, then I might just do that. So it's all on future me's whim. You'll find out in 6 months. Anyways, Fugitive Prince, first 3 books of Wars of Light and Shadow, absolutely amazing. Book 1, I liked. Book 2, I was getting more into it, because book 2 is really just a setup book. And then book 3 just blew me away. It was phenomenal. Book 3, Warhost of Vastmark, is just absolutely amazing. Shot it up into definitely my top 10. And book 4, I'm about halfway through. Holy shit! This book it's probably going to be 5 stars, by the way. And also, heads up, this will have a review. Just because I think Janny Wirtz books will always have a review. I want to do that. I think it's good to chronicle my journey through her books. And that's what I want to do. So I'm going to have a review for this book, and it's going to be the first book I read this month. Even though you probably won't get that review next week when I finish it. And by finish it, I mean I will probably finish it tomorrow as of the recording of this and releasing of this. So then I actually ignore this book right now. The next book I will be reading after Fugitive Prince, I think, it all depends on my whim. Believe me, it's a very loose and flimsy whim. I will be reading Eleuthian, because the Red Company is meeting in February, and I gotta be reading Eleuthian. Because, you know, it's gonna be great. Eleuthian is gonna be, like, up here by Sam Middleton. Heard great things about it. It'll be arriving tomorrow as of the recording of this. And, yeah, I cannot wait, because it's a Red Company book. Everything, like, We Are the Dead knocked me out of the park, and I really wasn't expecting it to. Eleuthian, I think, is like a sci-fi. It makes me think of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Yeah, there's a lot of ofs in that name. Now that I think about it, it's kind of odd. It's really weird to say. I thought I got it wrong, but I think that's right. Anyways, not it's not Nausicaa. I'm not reading Nausicaa. I'm reading Eleuthien. Eleuthien. I know nothing about it, and I'd like to keep it that way. So that's all you're getting from me. And then the third book I will be reading after that book is The Wall of Storms. So I can't wait to read this book, I'm not going to lie. Because The Wall of Storms is... The Grace of Kings was amazing. I know I didn't make a review on it, but that's because I can't make a review on The Grace of Kings. It's just... I wouldn't know how. So I made that small tidbit on why I think The Grace of Kings is amazing, because its prose is just brilliant. Wall of Storms will probably have a review. Don't take my word on it. You'll see in a bi-weekly reader whether or not I'm willing to give it a review. But we'll find out. It's about 850-ish pages, and book one was amazing. It really was. And I've heard from Esme that the books get more character-driven and more character-focused, so it's not going to be as summary-focused or summary-driven. First book covered a lot of time, and it was a very, very dense book. And I can't wait to see where the story goes, because where can it go? And I've heard that The Wall of Storms is even better than The Grace of Kings. So I can't wait to see this pantheon of gods continue their journey, and I can't wait to see what sorts of conflict occur. It just doesn't feel like something that's going to be a 4-book series. I really have no idea where it's going to go, except I have a little bit of a tidbit. I got spoiled a little bit. I'll tell you in the review, if I make a review. Anyways, this book is going to be amazing. I have every confidence in Ken Liu. I cannot wait to read it. Esme preaches this series to high heaven, and so does Patrick Leo, who is obviously the GOAT of YouTube, or of BookTube. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to read Wall of Storms. And so after that, I will be reading a mystery novel. So I'm not quite sure if mystery novel will be now or now. This month. Now as in this month. I don't know if I'm going to get it sent this month or if it's going to be next month, because I've heard things. I'm not going to tell you because I just kind of want to have the review out and just, have fun. I want everybody to be shocked. Oh, this guy got to read this book, and I'm super excited to read this book. So, but after this mystery novel, I don't know how long it will take me to read that novel. Watch me do it in a day or two, because it's so good. I believe it. I believe in you. You know who you are. I believe in you. And after that, Spider Key. Oh, I'm so excited, because book one, Wickwire Watch, first review I had on the channel, was amazing. It really was amazing. Just fantastic. I cannot wait to see where this goes. Not only because of the story, but I love the character Inkwell in this book, because... or in this book. Well, in the first book. Because he's so distrusting, and he has no choice but to distrust quite literally everyone around him. The mysteries are so compelling, and he trusts no one, and you feel like you can't trust anyone. And I know I said this in my top 10 reads of 2024, but I really relate to that idea, that feeling of paranoia, like you can't trust anyone, is something that I find very prevalent in my own life and my own habits. But I love that character, and I've heard that the series just gets better. And so, Esme actually has said it's absolutely amazing, I think. And John from Talking Story has also said it's absolutely amazing. So I can't wait, It's so exciting, this sort of stuff. I love it so much. I loved the first book. I really liked the first book. I guess I'm just going to have to pull out the same game that I was playing for the first book to listen to the audiobook for the second book. It's the stupidest game to play. It's called Spiritfarer. If you... Don't play that game when you're listening to an audiobook of something. It was peaceful, it was calm, it was quiet. I shouldn't play that game while playing or listening to a book like this. It's the most calm and peaceful game. It's like playing Stardew Valley, and I'm out here listening to this series where I can't trust anyone. It's amazing. And then I want to get to some novellas at the very end of the month. I don't know if I'll be able to get to them because I'm now realizing I actually have a pretty stacked month ahead of me. But we'll see if I get to them. So the first novella I'd really like to get to is the God Eater novellas. I, again, need to ask Chris when he's going to read the next novellas, because we're going to do a collab thing on this. We're going to talk about it. I cannot wait to discuss God Eater. It's absolutely amazing. He's going to have read Harold, and then I'm going to be like, who's that guy? Who's that guy who you're talking about? Who that name? Ooh, I don't know who that name who that is. You're going to have to remind me, pal. I can remember 2, maybe 3 names from Harold. He needs to read it quickly so that we can talk about it. But I'd like to read this book because Harold was absolutely amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that novella. I'm not going to read the next novella right next to it. And then I want to read Lesser Devil. I have read all of Sun Eater, and I've heard amazing things about this. Jacob from Talking Story has been praising it, and so I gotta read it too, you know? It's amazing. I love Sun Eater. Sun Eater is one of my favorite series of all time, and what's really funny is I think that if I made my top series of all time already 6 months later, it'd be completely different, which is really funny. But I'm not going to do that. Believe me, I won't. It's going to be another half a year before I do that. I want to get more into Malazan, more into Wars of Light and Shadow, because they're taking a spot, you know, rightfully so. And we'll see where Bound and the Broken goes. But I'm all over the place, I know. But Lesser Devil, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to read this. I had to buy this, actually, because I didn't want... I'm a collector at heart, okay? And I know that this is going to be edited again, and that it is going to get a new cover. I want the new cover, but I also want the old cover. I love to be able to say, hey, I have the old cover. Hey, I have the old cover. And, like, for example, my copy of Disquiet Gods, you can't buy that. Yeah, right there over my left shoulder. There. But you can't buy that anymore, I'm pretty sure. Bane edition, the Bane edition of the book, you just can't buy it. With that, it makes me happy. I love having limited edition stuff. It's so addicting, you know? Like, ooh, I have this rare thing. I get to show it off. Ooh, look at me. Don't fall into my pit trap. And if I can get through those 2 novellas, I know I'm being pretty ambitious here. I want to read The Lathe of Heaven. I want to read an Ursula K. Le Guin book. I've really wanted to read her essays, but I really, really, really want to read this novella. I don't remember why it interested me so much. I really don't. But I remember that when I bought this book, I was so deeply interested in what was going on. And also, can we just say, this is a terrible cover. Like, this is a genuinely bad cover. It feels like somebody grabbed a bunch of stock photos and put them on whatever the fuck this is, and a mountain. Maybe the mountain's a little original, but it's a terrible cover. It's just bad. What do you want me to say? I want to read Ursula K. Le Guin anyways, because I've heard great things about Ursula K. Le Guin, and I want to read her works, and I really don't feel inclined to read A Wizard of Earthsea. I know she's a very philosophical person, and I love philosophy, but for whatever reason... Oh, wait, I know why I don't want to read A Wizard of Earthsea, because it's a magic school. I don't like magic schools. It's very rare for me to like magic schools. So, like, the only magic school I can think of that I liked, like, I genuinely loved, was Will of the Many. And that's pretty much it. So, that's going to be it for my January TBR. I hope you all have enjoyed, and Monday will be my Wind and Truth video. Wednesday will be a quick video on whatchamacallit. Help me out here. Help me out. Live Ship Traders. And Friday will be Fitz and the Fool. Don't take my word for that. Do not take my word for that. Because I don't know if I'll have the time to sit down and finish Fitz and the... Or, not, I have finished Fitz and the Fool. But talk about Fitz and the Fool. Because, again, as I said, this thing can easily go on for an hour. And, you know, it is what it is. Again, I hope you all have a great day. Hope you enjoyed. What are you going to read in January? I'd love to hear. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments. That's probably my favorite part, honestly, to talk to people about the books and go back and forth. And they're like, oh, this is an amazing book. You need to read it. Or like, this book is so amazing. You're going to love it. I love hearing that. I'm not going to lie. Again, I hope you all have a great day. See you all next time.